What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today, I'm gonna take my time to do this little season recap before we jump into the bowl game in our next episode. As you can see, Michigan, the Heart, Michigan has beat Ohio State, y'all. Hart did not go 0-4. His senior season, he done got the W. Congratulations. And congratulations to us. We have landed a 4-star guard. His potential not that great, but he's already a 4-star guard coming out of Potomac, Maryland. I believe there's a Housewives of Potomac. I wouldn't know unless I was married, and I am married, so I do know. But if I wasn't, I wouldn't know because he watches that stuff as a man. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Anyways, man, his potential's not that good, but hey, it is what it is. This 3-star tailback, again, discipline good, potential not that great, but hey, I'm looking to develop these guys, and yeah. Conference championship week, the MAC championship in Detroit, Michigan. We have Ohio versus Northern Illinois, Ole Miss, Georgia in the SEC game, Iowa State, Texas for the Big 12, Florida State, Virginia for the ACC, and then Conference USA, Tulane and Southern Miss. And Northern Illinois gets the job done. Like I said earlier in the season, I believe that they are the class of this conference, and they got the job done. They go the winners and losers for the other conference championship games. And to my surprise, we won the Biletnikoff Award. Here's just the best receiver. You've won the Receiver of the Year award. But no, it's the Biletnikoff, baby. The Biletnikoff Award is coming home. The homie Bishop did his thing his senior year. Had a lot to do with his rushing numbers. His receiving numbers were good. Don't get it wrong. But the way that he would run the ball, help us out, that's a big look for us, man. This is a good look for us. We're going to go down to San Diego, play Air Force in the post city, you know what I'm trying to say. We're going to go to that bowl game, and then hopefully it's a good one. We did not win the Heisman. It goes to Lundy from Ohio State. He's a running back. They usually get a good chance at winning Heismans. I believe their tailbacks have won a few in their day. They also had John David Booty from USC will finish second as you can see when it comes to the quarterbacks. All right. Anyways, man, let's check out what's going on top 25 polls, man. Michigan's number 1. Miami is number 2. Then you got USC, Boise State. Show Boise some love. Virginia, Texas, Ohio State. And I thought that this whole college football playoff was supposed to allow a Boise State to get there. Remember, that was the whole thing. We need a college football playoff so the little guy has a chance. Even though it's been really Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, and then throw in a Notre Dame, throw in maybe a Pac-12 school, a Big 12 school every now and again. But it's usually just those teams. Yes, we had Georgia in there, but it's like, seriously. And the biggest problem, I don't want to make this into a rant, as you see that my boy Jackson, he finished second for the Bednarik Award, whatever it is. He was up there. Of course, we won Biletnikoff. But the problem with college football is just the fact that you have the preseason poll. If you don't have the preseason poll, then it's all good. Because in the NCAA basketball tournament, yes, the preseason poll is there, and you have polls throughout. But you also have your conference tournament, and if you win your conference tournament, which proves that you're the best team in the conference, at least one of them, because you won the conference tournament, you get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And then you have a tournament where you can have a team like Oral Roberts upset 2 powerhouses in Ohio State and Florida, I believe, right? So it's different. Because of the preseason poll, if you're number 1, and you lose to a number 5, like let's say Alabama loses to Georgia during the regular season. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen. Let's say it does happen. You could say, well, Georgia's one of the top teams too, and I don't know if Georgia's really better than them, even though you see, so it turns into almost like football politics, if you will, even though the college football playoff was supposed to fix all those things. Now, the BCS had its own issues, as we take a look at the All-Americans, but the BCS, at least when the BCS worked right, you got USC Texas. And that's one of the greatest college football games ever. Was it perfect? Was the BCS perfect? No. When you had Oregon miss out and Nebraska, they went when Nebraska didn't even win their conference, the Big 12 back in the day, and they went and they got demolished by Miami with Ed Reed, and they had Vilma, they had Andre Johnson and Ken Dorsey and all those guys. But I mean, the BCS, at least it was like you had to win out. Now it's like okay, you lost to Notre Dame, but we think Notre Dame is pretty good, Clemson, so we're just going to let that ride because we believe Clemson is the best team. So it just turns into more opinion than an algorithm. And I'm not saying the algorithms are perfect, but when you base it on opinion, which basically what the college football playoff is now, it's an opinion thing, well then of course Clemson's going to be one of the better teams because we perceive them to be one of the better teams based off their preseason ranking. They went undefeated in conference except for when they played Notre Dame. And it's like, okay, well, let's make Notre Dame a playoff team. Then they get demolished later on. It's just like, I don't know. I'm sorry for ranting, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys out there agree with me. Maybe some of you guys don't. They should maybe expand the playoffs, but then you really get into this whole scenario as these guys aren't students. And then that goes into these guys making some money. And I know the schools are not going to pay them, but hey, it is what it is. I know that these guys are eventually going to get paid, for their likeness and stuff like that. But it's just like, if they're students, do you really want this college football playoff to go like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, almost a month? I don't know. Anyways, I'm not smart enough to know these things. My boy Holly, he made he was the first team All-American. Mine, he was second team, not All-American, excuse me, All-MAC. Holly, as a freshman, made the All-MAC first team, which is a good look. I want these guys to develop. For our last dynasties, we kind of set rules. For this one, didn't set any rules because I could technically get fired, and that would mess up this whole dynasty. But I might just have to go after some 3-star guys. This is the first time that I've ever done a small school in a small conference, and I'm having some issues recruiting more so than I did ever. So I think that I might have to just go after 3-star guys and develop them. Because with Jackson State, we went after 3-star guys. We only really signed a handful of 4-stars throughout our whole time there. But our guys developed into some of the best college football players in the country. So I'm thinking if we can just get some guys, young guys, well not young, but 3-star guys, and develop them slowly, by the time they become seniors, they're going to be great. We might not have that flash in the pan Tua that could start, Tim Tebow that could start as a freshman, even though they were kind of held back, you know what I mean? Justin Fields, probably should have been starting over Fromm at Georgia. But I'm just saying, I think that we can build this team, build this program through 3- and 2-star guys, and we don't necessarily need a big splash. But I want big splashes for the O-line. O-line, whoever has the highest overall O-line would probably play, unless their passing blocking, if the pass blocking is horrible, you know what I mean? That would be the only scenario. Other positions, like skill positions, we might change it up. Whoever I feel like can play better is just going to play better or be our starter. All right, so career numbers, because mine is a senior, we only have the bowl game left. He rushed for over 2,000 yards. 27 TDs, and again, we do have the bowl game, but 27 TDs for him so far. Bishop, he's also a senior, 98 receptions for us just using him, so that's the past 2 years as a junior and now senior. 2,098 yards, 14 TDs, but he also did his thing on the ground. I believe he had 17 total TDs this season, so that was a big reason to why he won the Biletnikoff. And then Jackson, 104 tackles over the past 2 years, 18 passes broken up. I believe he had 10 interceptions. That's 7 this season as a senior. 7 forced fumbles in his career as well. So those are our main guys. Haston, he's going to be back next year. So is Greer at the quarterback spot, but I'm not quite sure if they're going to be our starter because, again, we have that redshirt freshman waiting in the wings. And we also have an athlete, too. We also have an athlete that we recruited who is actually a better quarterback than athlete. So, yeah, the quarterback spot, I think, going to be fine, even if the guy decides to transfer. Hope that's not the case. This is the matchup. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace, love, hot sauce.